It's live.
Listen up, people. We have some excitement for you because this is the thing is you are looking at Holly Starr and Michelle Lane over here that are very efficient and productive masters of our energy. But we didn't get there by accident, okay? We actually, like, Michelle, I'll let you talk for yourself, but like I was that high performer that was like, okay, let me dim my light so I can fit in, and that way I don't disrupt everything, right? Because I was this magical being that I just had stuff clicking in my brain. I always had the answer, and it really disrupted leadership above me because I was pushing their insecurities. And what I didn't know is every time I was in these rooms, it caused me to shrink. And what happened is my vibration continued to dim. And then I became less magnetic to all the opportunities around me. And it took me being this bold person, stepping into my gifts and activating all of me, that created this magnetism where I started my own business. I stepped into more money all the way around me. I just came back from an all expense trip from Greece, from the love of my life, and the most magical activations. But it didn't happen with me sitting in this room all by myself.
Right. I gotta say, happy Friday, everybody.
Woo!
Where the heck did the week go? Last Friday, we were in Florida and we were together in person, and we were there to expand our own growth, our evolution as businesswomen, as women in general, for me as a mom, wife, for all the things that you just said, because even from that perspective, owning businesses, growing, wasn't in corporate as much as we are self-employed, but I had my schedules, the kids' schedules, you're handling everything. You're achieving. You just do more because you can. You have the capacity to hold it. But when it came to the receiving, or it came to asking for help, or it came to showing up more boldly in my life, or even breaking free and doing something different, boy, oh boy, same thing, right? Like, oh, I can't. I'm handling all the pieces. I'm juggling all the balls. It's like, no. There's a point where it's got to give, and we get to step into more of our own authority, our own power, and our own energetic yes, which is why we are coming to you live today to really expand on this leadership energetic yes, because it has led us to this beautiful creation that we want to share with you. And then you're bursting. You're like, let me tell you some more.
Yes. Yes. And I think this is where it's kind of interesting, because I think I'm going to tell a little truth on myself. Like, I thought that I tapped into the frequency and then bam, everything magically happened. But I didn't realize that I still had these little subconscious programmings. And y'all, this is so embarrassing to say out loud, but I literally was afraid of making more money. And the story that was playing was because they will take it.
Mine was
full body chills. I was afraid to make more money because what was the point? They were just going to take it. So I was going to work hard and have no outcome because of my sacrifice, right? And I was like, well, forget that. I just won't do it. And then I was living beneath my birthright of my wealth. And it's just so interesting because in 1 year, I remember the first time I made my first investment in myself. It was $200 a month. And that was the hardest $200 to come up with. And a year of spending that $200 turned into $24,000 in a pay raise that year. And I have been on that trajectory where I haven't just done $20,000. My last pay raise was $40,000 in 1 year, $50,000 in 1 year. And so I'm just here to ask you, would you invest $200 to get to that next level of your wealth? And now I have no problem investing in myself. Last year was the most I've ever invested in myself in 1 year. And do you know that when I filed my taxes this year, my business had performed the best it had ever performed? Like, I was like looking at the numbers. I was like, oh my gosh, because I wasn't even looking at the numbers all year, y'all. Like, I was just living my best life, doing what I do, serving and loving on my clients, and having these collaborations that were just so magical, because I have learned how to run my human with such ease using human design, because now I know what my energetic yes feels like. Now I know what my baseline energy is versus my energy being hijacked by FOMO or scarcity or someone else's conjuring, right? And this has given me the most freedom to truly thrive. And the other part of this is I did not realize that when I first built my business, I built it from survival energy, because I had just lost my corporate America job super unexpectedly. Hey, Friday, don't come to work on Monday. I'm sorry, what? And so I went into hardcore survival mode, a very angry energy, if we're going to be completely honest. And I was going to start my business. And then I realized a year into my business, oh, whoa, I've got this energy of survival and anger infused into my energetics of my business. I need to go back and fix that. And when I did, content became easy, client retention became easy, client attraction and referrals became easy. I met my soul sister, Michelle, because I said yes. And it's just like, how many times have you created the detour for your life because you didn't respond to the energetic yes? Because you reasoned it, because you humaned it, because now's not the right timing.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I have been like, this makes total no sense at all. Please sign me up.
Yep. Oh my God. I think I just wrote this yesterday, meeting Andrea Franco, right? And just going to a room in a place I didn't know, no people I knew. I just was like, meant for magic. I gotta be like, that's me. Like I'm all in, right? And I had no idea. Like I went for strategy, I went for business. Let this be the thing that really helps me get out of my way, right? Because I had a lot of proving energy too, or this need to have it be hurry up and help so I can be the support. No, it's not all on my husband's shoulders, all the things. But I had a lot to learn in my business before I could actually step into that. And I was in such resistance that it was energetic because I was very logical, very much in my mind. But it really learning that energetic piece and how I operate or don't operate in there really helped propel me forward, including trusting that feeling. It's like between the solar plexus and the root where it's like, you just know you got to be there. And I started trusting that, and I wouldn't have met you without it. I can go on, but like my business tripled this year. I made payments and satisfied the biggest investment I've ever invested in myself. And I was watching it sequentially just rolling each year more and more and more. But it was cool because it wasn't a learning. It wasn't a certification that I was investing in. It was myself. It was me showing up in my business. And it was then I realized I had energetically been treating my business as a Band-Aid for self-growth, a Band-Aid for being able to have the excuse that I could go on retreat or I could go to these things because I paid for it myself. And that energetic shift, that proving energy, that it was actually need, to be honest, that need is toxic. It never lets you get past a level, right?
Yes.
You'll spin and all the things that are wrong with you, the scarcity mindset. And this is being truthful and vulnerable, right? We don't always have it all together, no matter how we're showing up online. But I was growing my business and I wasn't looking at how much it was growing by how much I was growing. And there was this moment this last year where something shifted. And I just knew like what I had, the skills I had, the way that I help people, the transformations, they're pertinent, they're growing, they're expanding all the time. And then I found myself really managing my energy, learning that energetic capacity, understanding where I was blocking and resisting my own receiving in money, in clients, in growing my business. And the minute I started treating my business as a lucrative, fun adventure,
yes.
Oh my gosh, the things that kept flowing in. And so when we met, we've been spending a year together in this mastermind. So grateful because literally didn't know you were in the room when I was there in April.
No, I saw you because you're drop dead gorgeous. And like I made eyes. I was like, oh,
Thank you. Thank
you.
But we really sat, it was literally having breakfast at the very first retreat that we went to.
True.
And I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I've known you forever and we need to know each other. And from that point, we were inseparable.
But wait, that's because I walked up and saw you and Kim having breakfast, and there was only 2 chairs at the table, and those 2 chairs were filled. And I got this energetic pull of you should talk to them. Yep. And so I literally sat at the table next to them and I said, hey, I'm Holly. I'm going to crash your breakfast.
And I was already like, you need to sit here. Like it was, but it's so, I just want to talk about that soul connection because it's real, right? We don't need to know why. We just need to know that there's a pull, there's a magnetic pull. And I really believe like we've journeyed before in a previous life.
For sure.
We're here to create something. And I wouldn't have known or trusted that at the time. But what was it? 6 months later, we're sitting there going, we need photos. We need, something's happening. Something's
yes.
right? And so now we have this retreat that we're birthing, not only birthing, we're created and we're co-creating with the women who are going to be saying yes to coming into this space. Because what happens when we're together, that we realized very quickly, there's a portal of energy that opens up for not only just the healing, but the expansion. We're choosing to talk about money. We're choosing to talk about your money codes, the roots to riches, the root of what keeps us holding ourselves back. Because I think we have a misperception in the mind that it has to be one and done. And I don't know about you, Holly, but it's been a perpetual growth. It's been a perpetual acceptance. It's been
the spiral of healing.
The belief in the mind that something can be bigger. And I had this moment, I think it was like January, where I'm like, I have been so hyper focused on the $100,000 in my business. It is such small freaking potatoes compared to what's actually possible out there. But isn't it funny how the direct, I'm going to get it done. I'm doing all these things, the focus, on the proving and the production for $100,000. There's millions out there. Right. And I think being in this container, being able to expand the perception of what's possible really helps open up where the belief needs to be built energetically and emotionally in our body. And I don't have any shame for that. I don't have it all figured out. My journey's been one of learning marketing, learning sales, learning online, knowing that I'm more reachable internationally with people than in my own hometown, and that I trust in that now. And I was resisting it for so long, and it's costed me millions. It's costed me thousands each week. It's costed me time. It's costed me happiness and fun and play and belief in myself. And I'm saying this because I know where those things have shifted and they no longer exist. And I know what's yet to come. So there's a frequency. There is a frequency that runs in our nervous system that is the teller of all things for us. You can logically talk yourself out of that. You can deny it all you want, but you are getting a mirror in your life of the internal frequency and the capacity for which you have to hold it. And when we came together, we were like, this needs to stop and expand in a way that people can experience themselves differently. I think for you, you're mentioning human design and how that opened you up to, there's nothing wrong with me. In fact, there's amazing things I get to start owning and stepping into. Numerology was the same to me. I've never seen more seen, heard, or understood. And we want to bring these two modalities together because we feel and know that there's a way of communicating this language together that you will only get in the container that we're bringing to you. It is a deepening, it is an understanding, and it is that energetic portal of timeline shifting.
Absolutely. And I love that you bring in, we're going to bring the mystical, we're going to bring the energy, we're going to change you on a soul level, and we're going to help you have the clarity of your next steps. And then we're going to give you the practical tools on how to do that with ease. And this is where I find so many clients that I work with, they're like, I'm doing all the things, Holly, I'm showing up every day and nothing's working. And when I look at their energy, I can see them almost like on the track at the high school where it's just circular and they're just running the same thing. And I'm like, oh, you're on the wrong track. Hold on a second. And we clear. I just cleared a past life from someone who was in war and was the caretaker and had to sacrifice to save so many people. And she couldn't understand why she wasn't visible. Like she felt like she was visible because she was doing all these things, but she couldn't get this next level safety with visibility. And I was like, oh, I just found it. It was actually in a prior lifetime. And I think that's where there's so many elements that we are invisibly fighting, like this invisible component, that if we can get the prize of the pause, right? Like the sacredness of that pause of like, okay, I'm going to step out of my energetic environment. I'm going to put myself in the most magnetizing, highest frequency ever. And I'm going to be surrounded by 12 other powerhouse queens and then 2 amazing healers and activators. Instantly, you're going to feel that vibrational shift. Like you can understand this on a human level when you can have a horrible day and you call your best friend or you call your sister and you're just like, tell me I'm beautiful, tell me all the nice things. And like instantly you're like, oh, I feel so much better.
Right.
Well, what would it look like? And instead of doing the track that you've been doing for maybe years, maybe whatever, you've made a little bit of progress, but you're like, Holly, I know there's a next level in me, and no matter, I just can't click into it. It's just not landing in my body. I just can't understand it. Like, I know this number in my head. I know this wealth is for me. I know this abundance is available to me, but it just feels like there's me, and then there's a wall, and then there's this on the other side. And I don't know how to get through that wall, right? This is your energetic vibrational ceiling.
Yeah.
And it is very invisible to us, but yet we feel it over and over and over and over again.
Right.
And this is where your frustration, this is where sadness can come up, that you're just like, I don't know why I feel so sad. I just want this to happen. Or maybe you're in that boss babe energy where you're like, I can make it happen. I will break. Trust me, I had plenty of headaches beating my head up against that wall, because that was my first plan of attack, right? Like, I can force through this. I can pressure through this. I can show up harder and do this. And it just exhausted me and took me out of alignment anymore. And I was just running faster on that circular track.
Yeah. It's like a hamster wheel, right? With the little one in there, and he's like, I can keep up, I can do it. And then pretty soon he's like tired, but he can't stop his little feet from going. We have to interrupt that cycle. We have to pattern interrupt. We have to understand what the heck pattern we're even talking about, and how it feels in our body, how the mind can understand it, and how the body responds to it, and how we can shift it, and what that feels like. And I don't think we spend enough time learning those parts of ourselves to actually be in the freedom, so we can create with the spaciousness and not just fill it with the same things that we're used to, even if we don't mean to.
Right.
And when I was writing, I write things down when you're talking. That prize and the pause, like, not feeling badly that we have this thing that we need to move through, or that we're at a ceiling. Like, if we can just let that go and have that grace and love for ourselves in that pivot, in that prize, that's in the pause of being present with your body. Your body's holding the truth at every moment. It's holding the truth for what we don't know we need to go find out. And it's holding the truth that if you knew what it was, you would have already healed it. Flat out.
If you could have seen it, you would already moved through it. Yes. And sometimes we need that fire starter.
We need the fire starter. We need the code breaker. We need all the things, which is the outside perspective and our vulnerability of letting ourselves be seen in that space and not have to figure it all out for 4 days, a moment, an hour, whatever it is for you. Because what's on the other side is your wisdom that you're blocking, the knowing that you pretend is outside of you. And it is all accessible. And until you learn how you do you, the pattern continues, but it's always here for your leveraging and navigating, not to take you down.
No, never to take you down.
Not to be at the whim of the world, your circumstance, your story. And I want to bring this up because we've had a couple of people talking about, it's not an easy place to get to. It's not a terribly difficult place to get to in Mount Shasta, but it's not your hub. And so it will take an energetic yes and commitment in travel, in arrangements, in allowing yourself that space. But when you do, guess what's going to open up? Maybe you want a few extra days to take in the sights. Maybe you want a few extra days to be with yourself, to have the downloads come through, because I promise you there's going to be clarity and downloads in your business coming through. It just happens. It starts about Sunday evening or on your way home. And so get ready, right? Every single time, because Mount Shasta itself is a portal of energetic convergence, right? I want to just say, like, I don't know about you, but I have, like I said, I've flown 12 to 14 hours. That is a long day. And then got a ride and then figured out how to make, I just decided, and the commitment landed in the body. And then my internal mirror, my internal mechanism, my reticular activation system started saying, flights on sale. Oh my God, I've got points. Duh, I have a credit. Oh my God, Southwest is flying for whatever. Like, there's no reason to not find the next thing, but you're pre-deciding it is or isn't for you. And you're never going to experience that energy when you do that. You're making it hard. You don't know that you can't fly into a specific airport that's closer, that someone can be there, that a whole group of people can come together. And I've seen it 5 years now. 5 years where we will have that support in a Facebook group for you. You will find that ride, that roomie, that person. But the cool thing about this year is you're going to have your own room, your own space, right? You're not sharing rooms. You have a king bed. You have the spaciousness. You have the luxury of that spaciousness. And you've got this connection to the earth, to the nature and outdoors in between all the spaces. And so if this is calling you, if this is on your heart, you got to kind of just rip the Band-Aid off and say yes. And I'm going to encourage you all to apply. We have an application. Again, everything has been curated intentionally for your next level. From the moment that you hear it, read it, decide upon it, fill out the application, there is a convergence that begins to happen to the whole hell yes that the universe answers to. And we were talking about, why we've heard questions, why application? Why can't I just purchase right now? Right. And it is, again, intentional in the specific focus for what we're moving, the women that we're calling in, and the level for which you're reaching next. And I really feel that commitment energy, we decide all the time. The decision isn't always the hard part, but it's the indecision of saying, I'm all in, and I'm not just going to toe dip and test the waters before I leap, that the universe is waiting for you to be committed to.
All in.
That takes a little bit of the unknown and the trust in yourself that this is for you to experience. And I don't know about you, Holly, but I've never walked away from an experience like that empty-handed.
Oh my gosh, no. And we are going to come back and do a live on another day. And I'm going to talk about 2 retreats that I went to that did not make any sense. One, I was actually like, oh my God, please, I don't want to go. But both of those gave me the most magical experiences that has created the energy in my body and the frequencies in my body to be the powerful healer that I am today. And had I not said yes, I can't even imagine where I would be today. Like, I'm just being completely honest. Like, my journey would have been still on that track because I would have been waiting for it to activate, but I never took those steps to lead to the activation.
Right.
And going back to the application, we wanted everybody to walk away with something. And so we have energetically infused this application. We're just going through these questions of this application is going to shift and unlock and unearth things in you where you're just like, whoa,
yeah,
okay, I actually already have more clarity now going through this application process. The second part of this is going to be such a high level, high touch thing that you have to think of like us as energy healers. Like, we want to be very protective of who we interact with and elevate, because we're only here to up level the most highest integrity impact leaders, right? And we want to curate such a community. There will be a Facebook group where you all will be hanging out before we get there. So you will know each other. You will know Michelle and I very well before you get there. And this is just going to begin amplifying the intensity of your transformation. Yeah. Michelle and I are already working on those people who are saying yes. Mm-hmm. We're already working on the energy vortex that is already Mount Shasta, clearing, curating, and activating that space. There's no time. We are here, there, and everywhere, and we are actively calling in and creating and activating those transformations. And so now the ball's in your court.
Yeah.
You've been invited. You've been inspired if you've heard either one of us. And if you've been in one of our energies or both of our energies, you know how activating and inspiring and what level it is. So you imagine us working with you, holding space for you, and amplifying you for 3 days. OMG is all I have to say.
Right. And our deepest wish is for you to learn to hold more, more of the wealth, more of the money, more of the joy, more of the visibility without burning out. We want to expand your capacity to lead with clarity and not chaos. And I don't know if you feel the same way about how we were speaking about the things that we were going through in the beginning. There's a nuance and a distinction in the energy, and you know when it's yours. And it's okay that it's there because there's more for you to experience. But at every level, no matter what your dream is, no matter what your energetic capacity to hold the money is, it doesn't have to be multi-millions, but it doesn't not have to be. And so wherever you are in that, there's going to be a new level of beliefs. There's going to be a new level of integration and recalibration of your own frequency to create the safety that's within you to hold it flat out. And I think together, what we really bring is that love frequency, that ability for that to transmute quicker, to shift timelines quicker, and to build that recalibration within your nervous system. So you walk away knowing that is a change and that safety is yours. And you'll have the tools to teach yourself over and over and over again what to come back to. So
Exactly.
we're waiting for those to join us who are the action takers, the quick action takers. Oh, that's our timer. We're on a schedule today. And also just to remember that, we have this abundance really built into these packages that are coming in. And through the 15th, we have an ultra early bird special happening right now. After the 15th, it's going to keep bumping up. So you get to choose how you want to play. But we're just saying, don't wait. We're having a multitude of applications coming in. And those
I just had a payment come in.
Right? I know. I'm like, another one has been sent out this morning. Another application was received yesterday. So if you are on the fence, now is the time to leap. At least fill out the application and let's get the ball rolling. All right.
And there's a free gift on the other side of the application that Michelle and I have curated for you. So like have the shift going through the application. This is abundance all the way through. You have no idea how we're activating your wealth codes even through this transmission here. So when you walk away, you are so rooted in your truest, purest, most authentic vibration. You are a force to be reckoned with. You have such clarity around who you are, what gifts you have, and what your mission and purpose is in this world. And then you have the toolkits through our practical tools we're going to give you, including numerology and human design, where you will know, oh, my human is hijacking me. Yeah. That's not my wealth code activation. I know what to do to get this back on track, because this is the thing. Life's never going to be perfect. Life's never going to be easy. But when you have the tool set, your bounce back makes life turbo easy. And you're just like, I can't be bothered. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm just living in my abundance wealth queen era right now. So no, thank you. I'm not available for that. And then it's just like magical how it works out. Like, it has been mind blowing how life will life. And I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. And then it fixes itself. And I'm just like, I didn't even ask. It just worked itself out.
But even receiving that ease and simplicity is a technique, right? Yes. This is so good. All right. Well, we love you guys. We're going to be back. Obviously, we'll be talking a lot about this, even more, but we love you. Thanks for listening in, and we'd love to have the conversation continue. So keep commenting below. You can ask your questions. I will put the link for the application below, and we hope you have a beautiful weekend. All right. Bye.